Before we conclude this series with Sheenuwiy Hashem, changing the name, we need to remember to put our emotions into our prayers, to put our minds and our physical circumstances into our rituals. We need to involve our family in the obligations. I mean, they have their choices, but certainly call them towards the obligations, and extra on occasion. Then we can experience every place as if it is the Holy Land. We can experience the presencing related to the prophets. And it's believed in fate, but some believe that you can change the name and then the person fated to die or go through a certain amount of loss with illness or hardship, that will end with that name. And people will take on a life, perhaps, with a new name, or, just add another name. Like Rapal, the healing of God, or Chiam, the life. If it's a male patient, Waf am Nagzer al yu Babait Dinuk Hutsduk Shemut Machuli Zah Wahna Rabutinu Hakdushim Amru Sholsha Dabrim Kurayim Gazer Dinu Shol Adam Wachad Maham Hawa Sheenuwiy Hashem Sheenuwiy Hashem Shol Hachula Wakimanu Debriham One Shutna Shamuki Achur Hwa Wam Al, the patient's name in Hebrew or Aramaic, Nagzer Hagzer Din Al, their new name in Hebrew or Aramaic, La Nagzer Lakan Achur Hwa Wenu Hwa Hanqada Basham Harashun Waksham Shan Shutna Shamukan Yashtana Hagzer Din Maliu Madin Lurchamim Wam Mita Lachiam Wam Machla Lurpwah Shoma La, the patient's new Hebrew or Aramaic name, Bun, the mother of the patient in Hebrew or Aramaic, Basham Kol Hashmut Haktubim Baspar Tura Za Wabsham Kol Hashmut Wabsham Kol Ham Blakim Hamunim Al Kol Her Puout Wa Talut, what Shalich, Mahra, Rapwa, Shoma, La, the new name in Hebrew or Aramaic, Bun, the mother's name of the patient in Hebrew or Aramaic, what Arik, Yemu, Wush Nutiu, Bun Aimim, We Bala, Bathub, Yemu, Barub, Auz, Washlum, Mata, Wad, Aulam, Amun, Salah. Well, we need to remember to live out the goodness of our names and do our ritual orisons and all that stuff. Since Aramaic is the language of Tanakh and before, if a person is Semitic, they should definitely use the Aramaic. But if they're like 95% of Jews having no Semitic ancestry, they should probably use the Hebrew, because they descend from Khazaria, like the Ashkenazi or the Sephardic. There's other branches that connect with that, but, and if there's the patient's a female, Waf am Nangzer Alya Babait Dinuk Hatzduk Shutmut Machuli Zawahna Rabutinu Hak Dushim Amru Sholsha Dabrim Kurayim Gazur Dinu Shul Adam Wachad Maham Hawa Sheenuwiy Hashem Sheenuwiy Hashem Shul Hachula Waqimanu Debriham Wanshutna Shema Ki Achrut Hiya Wat Al, the patient's name in Hebrew or Aramaic, Nagzer Hagzer Din Al, the patient's name in Hebrew or Aramaic, the new name, La Nagzer Lakan Achrut Hiya Waina Hiya Hankara Basham Rashun Waksham Shun Shutna Shema Kun Yashtana Hagzer Din Malya Madin Lurchmim Wamita Lachiyam Wamachla Lurpua Shoma La, the patient's name in Hebrew or Aramaic, but that would have been the new name. The mother of the patient in Hebrew or Aramaic, Basham Kol Hashmut Haktubim Baspar Tura Za Wabsham Kol Hashmut Wabsham Kol Hashlakim Hamunim Al Kol Herpuout Watazalut Wat Shulch Mahra Rapwa Shoma La, the new name in Hebrew or Aramaic, but the patient's or the mother's name in Hebrew or Aramaic, Wataryak Yamya Wash Nutya Van Aimim Wat Bala Bathub, Yamya, Barub, Aus, Wush, Lum, Mata, Wad, Aulam, Amun, Salah. So we should firmly establish ourselves in some of these ways, and I used a rough pronunciation to make it more universal and kind of get in touch with the more ancient spirit of some of these things. The ending of that K sound doesn't mean U. If there's a U in a translation, it's either a mistranslation using the Hebrew, which is influenced by the later language of Arabic. I mean, Arabic is later than the language of Tonic, but yeah. So it's in the hands, it's tamed, it's according to the terms. Speaking of terms, we can say my content in general is to encourage awareness of your own spirituality, combining methods and experience and traditional understandings and religious community is about working together and working for God. And there can be a degree of harmony work between the various faiths. I'm not saying that all beliefs and practices are equal or any silly thing like that, but certainly there are areas where we can agree and get along. And there are certain things to consider with educating children and others, certain ways to address particular individuals, and these spiritual teachings and practices can be related to our own specific lives, whether we're women or men, whether we're relating to the past or the future, or whether we're learning how to express the religious teachings. Now, the stories that I didn't read include Milk and Honey of Poland, Rabbi Nachman's Chair, The Miracle at King David's Tomb, The Challahs in the Ark, The Princes of Light, The Story of Sarah, who lived longer than Methuselah, The Vampire Demon, a Greek story, the rebuilding, the building of the walls of the temple, an Eastern European tale of the language of birds, an Italian tale of moving mountain, and an Iraqi tale of moving mountains. The aliyah is the going up. It's a type of prayer or action. 586 BCE is a very important date for the Jews, but Judaism as we know it starts about 540 BCE, 200 BCE probably, but we don't have it historically appear until the second book of Maccabees. The challahs, the braided bread that Jews use for the holidays or the Sabbath, it's probably a version of the nam bread that the Moloch worshippers use. But they use the knots, and it's like, why? What's the reason for the knotting in the bread, in the challah bread? The chassid, the chassidim are the righteous ones. They're, probably the biggest group of Orthodox, you could say. And the Havdalah is the multi-wick candle, and it's the ceremony that's performed with it. The Katul is the well. The wall. So the Hakatul Hamarawi, the western wall, is a very important reference as the remnant of the temple. And a mitzvah is a commandment. A rebbe is the Yiddish for a rabbi, our spiritual master. A Seder is, specifically we have the Passover Seder, but we also have, any sort of ordered ritual or whatever. The Talit is a prayer shawl. The Tefillin are the leather boxes or such things that contain the verses of Scripture on the head, the arm, the doorpost, the fence post, that sort of stuff. Torah can refer to the whole Tanakh in general and the commentary, the Talmud. Tzedakah is the righteousness, the charity, the purification.